Hello friends! In this chapter I'm going to show you why you need to know about the Bristol Stool Chart. You see, it has always been a rather embarrassing topic when talking about the texture and shape of stool with the family doctor, right? To help physicians and especially patients to get out of the embarrassment, researchers at the University of Bristol, England, developed in 1994 the Bristol Stool Chart. It rates the texture, color, and shape of feces. In this chapter, I'm going to talk about the shape and texture of poop. So let's start. The Bristol chart has 7 types of stools. Many experts claim that type 3 and 4 are ideals, but I think they are missing a few parts from the puzzle. To understand how diseases formed in the digestive system, we must first take into consideration the ongoing peristaltic motion in there. Without knowing what's the ideal rhythm of this motion, how can someone tell you what's the right texture and shape of poop should look like? Especially when the texture and shape depend also on the effectiveness of the peristaltic motion. Look, slower motion causes a backup and accumulation of waste that leads to chronic constipation. On the other hand, faster motion can be classified as irritable bowel syndrome or diarrhea. We know that junk food, antibiotics, and stress contribute to problems in the digestive system. Besides that, our diet, lifestyle, gut, microbes, and genetics are different from one another. That's one reason why the medication doctors prescribe for digestive problems don't work on everyone, right? Bristol scale is the best tool for self-diagnose. It can also help to prevent diseases in the intestines before they turn chronic. That's why I believe everyone should have access to instructions on how to use the chart. If you Google Bristol chart, you find many experts giving instructions on the topic. Most of them recite what they learned. Telling people that type 3 and 4 are okay is making them to believe they don't have digestive problems. Even family doctors and pediatricians say that it's normal to have one bowel movement every 1 to 3 days. That's another reason why intestinal diseases affect so many people, old and young. It happens because of a few reasons. First, we were taught to eat what we like and tastes good. Therefore, many of us choose man-made industrialized food deprived of fiber and essential nutrients. Second, as toddlers, we were trained to use the wrong posture for moving bowels. Any parent witnessed how toddlers naturally squat during defecation. That's how humans used to pass stool before the invention of toilets. Look at the facts. Some toddlers pass stools 3 times a day, while others do it only 3 times a week. Do you think it's healthy to let 6 to 12 meals accumulate in the colon? Do you think it's healthy to sit on a toilet and apply strain to release hard poop? At my clinics came many people with different diseases. Most of them also have bowel problems. Can you imagine that over 70% of all known diseases start because of colon issues? Do you start to see the broad picture? So what happens down there that causes so many health problems? Well, feces in its journey along the colon undergoes a wavy massage. In the colon, water, minerals, and other essential nutrients are reabsorbed into the body. That's why the longer stool stays in the colon, the drier and harder it gets. Now we must pay attention to the last part of the colon. Here there is torsion in the sigmoid before the rectum. This kink is the first obstacle in the flow of stool. The shape of it slows down the feces just before it enters the rectum. The second obstacle is the pabo-rectalis muscle. This muscle doesn't let go of its grip on the anal canal while sitting on the toilet, but it does it naturally only while squatting. Isn't that a divine engineering? Now, science knows that on the average, food stays in the stomach for about 4 hours before it leaves to the small intestines. There, the partially digested food has to travel in the 20-foot-long tube. Traveling time in the small intestines depends on the food you ate, the good bacteria in your gut, and the peristaltic motion. On average, it takes 4 to 6 hours to pass through the small intestines before waste enters the colon. Now, the large intestines is only 5 feet long, which is only a quarter of the length of the small intestines. However, science tells us that stool can stay there between 10 to 60 hours before it leaves the body from the anus. In that case, I have two crucial questions. One, why there is a large hours range for stool to pass through the colon? And two, can the risk of colon diseases increase if stool stays longer in the bowel? It's clear that longer the stool stays in the colon, it gets harder to pass, and constipation contribute to many chronic diseases. However, it's unclear why physicians think it's normal to pass stool once every 2 to 3 days, and why number 3 and 4 on the Bristol chart considered to be okay. Look, if you have 3 meals a day and have a bowel movement every 2 days, there is an accumulation of 6 meals before you passed stool. Do you know how many meals you have already accumulated in the colon? Do you know how many meals passed each time you defecate? It's impossible to know, right? Science tells us that it takes on the average about 8 to 10 hours for what we ate to reach the colon. So what makes it stay there 60 and even 72 hours or more? This is a crucial question because the peristaltic rhythm in the colon doesn't slow down before stool reaches the rectum. By all means, accumulation of toxic waste causes diseases in the infected organ. Look where most cancer appears in the colon. It happens in the last part, where toxic poop accumulates. That's why I believe everyone should know the 7 stages of Bristol chart. This knowledge can serve you in time of need before chronic disease take place in the bowels or elsewhere. If you already signed up for the trilogy, the Peristaltic Motion Secrets to Sickness and Health, in the next chapter I explain the 7 types of stool in the Bristol chart. You should get it to your email in the next few days. Make sure to look for it. And if you haven't registered yet, I want you to know that this subject might help you understand how chronic intestinal diseases start and how to prevent them. Beneath this video, you can find a short registration form. Do it now, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.